Just moved out my stuff, returned my things, and now we're on the road. A friend that is flying in to meet me in Medford, Oregon, and then we're traveling to Phoenix, Arizona to meet another friend who's going to be flying into that airport over there. A lot of things going on and very little time to record and edit videos. As you can see, I'm literally making a video while fixing my hair. On the way to Phoenix, there are a couple of stops we're going to be making, one being Yosemite National Park, which I've never been to. We're only going to be able to spend a day there, so we'll see what happens with that. I've spent the better half of the morning at Starbucks hacking onto some Wi-Fi and looking up some possible options to sleep, depending on the national parks that we go to. We passed by Sacramento on our way to Yosemite, so capital of California. Haven't checked it out before, and when I looked up what's around there, they have like 60 microbreweries and tons of vegan food, so I'm really excited about that. I went grocery shopping yesterday just to get some things for the road trip and tried to plan out like some of the things that we would be eating. I am going to be the only vegan on the trip, and they both said that they're just going to eat whatever I eat, so we'll see how that goes. I also just realized that I told them each that they can only pack one bag because I'm still struggling to fit all of my things in here in a nice way. I really hope they listened. I just pulled up to Fred Meyer to get some sriracha, and look at what I'm met with. That's gotta be thousands of birds. I don't even know, like, why are they all huddled in one area? This is wild. The thing about a road trip is there's usually a starting point and a destination. Everything that happens in between is a mystery. Sure, you can plan your route and make a list of all the things you'd like to see, but really, you don't know what to expect until you're there, in the middle of nowhere and everywhere, all at the same time. Sure, you can count on motels with neon signs pleading their vacancy to passerbys, strangers, cow fields that go on for miles, acres of land filled with planted seeds, a sense of hustle and bustle when stuck in the traffic of major cities, and even your road trip playlist you thought you'd never get sick of. But what makes a road trip so special is the sense of freedom, the unknown, and driving right into it with every intention to seek and be found. The long ride back home left me reflecting on all the things life on the West Coast has taught me. Independence. This was the first place I was completely on my own, and I've never known a more terrifying feeling. Although I wouldn't have given it up for anything, I am the person I am today because of it. Self-respect. I learned to love myself out there, to truly appreciate the person I am while meeting her. I never understood how important it was to know your worth, all that jazz, but the mountains reminded me how powerful shifts can be. In my case, mental shifts. Resilience. Of course I had setbacks out there. Realizing I couldn't satisfactorily sustain the 9-to-5 school district job while maintaining good standing with my mental health. Feelings of loneliness. It was hard, but each day I found a reason to get up in the morning. Beauty. There's really nothing like misty mornings in Oregon, fog rolling through the pine trees, the sun rising overhead, the coastal towns and their deserted beaches, sunsets reflecting off miles of low-tide waters, sitting on the edge of rocks, watching the ocean's energy rage against its walls. And above all, I was introduced to a world I felt I was a part of. One where the sound of the ocean drowned my doubts and mountains served as proof. As highway signs blurred by, the radio up, I let my mind sing with the wind, drifting between where I am now and where I will be. It's not such a small world after all. It's infinite, a story that leads to another story, each one so different from the last. This was hands down 10 out of 10 my favorite experience on the road trip. Stumbling across these natural hot springs, the peace and serenity that surrounded it all, was one of those moments you don't forget about. Aurora is the name of the friendly pup who seemed to volunteer her tour guiding services. She greeted us right as we pulled up and walked us over to the springs. A little later, we learned she has an owner who loves her very much, so no worries about an abandoned dog here.
Thought I saw the moon staring back at me. His eyes were wide open as he saw me running through the trees. He said, "Little lady, why don't you slow down? I don't want you to hurt yourself now. I've been trying to run away from myself, change my DNA and be somebody else. I've been trying to escape, trying to change my skin. All I ever really wanted was a place to fit in." Thought I heard the moon talking back to me. He said, "I know exactly galaxy and be anywhere else. I've been trying to escape, I hate being alone. All I ever really wanted was someone to call home. Mr. Moon, I don't know if this means much to you, but planet Earth, well, she can't get enough of you. She's been writing you love songs and poems, and if you were to leave, I think she might be broken. Then the moon got quiet again, and I thought I had lost my new friend. And the moon said she feels the same way about you. She's been growing flowers for your hair, and she loves to hear you sing freely through the air. Did you know she's not been feeling well? I said, yeah, I could tell. She's been trying to fight for life by herself. She's been trying to make a home for everyone else. She's been trying to be patient, trying to be kind, but all of this illusion is fogging her mind.
Okay.
Then I felt the earth shift beneath my feet, and I felt the warmth of the moonbeam. For the first time I felt okay.